Hey everybody, did you know you can go to colinmullen.com in order to get art and art prints? That's why I made the website. You can't get this one that I'm about to show you on, the video that you're about to watch there because of reasons that will become very apparent. But you can get other ones, colinmullen.com. Yeah. So everybody, before we get started with today's video, I encourage you to pause this, go find some drawing material, and just start drawing along with me because that's kind of the purpose of this one. Not necessarily what I'm drawing, just whatever you feel like drawing, whatever you feel like you need to be improving on. Because that's what kind of I was doing here, is that I've been wanting to implement more grass and that kind of thing in my backgrounds, but I just don't really know what that's supposed to look like. Central Texas is either very urbanized, where all the grass is finely manicured and all of that, or just scorched earth, where it's like just waves of gold and brown and blackened earth where the sun or like whatever has scorched it to the ground. So it's just, long unmanicured green grass is not something that I really know what looks like naturally, and so I have to go off of pictures, and as much as I love to have pictures as reference, it never really does the job. But I want to tell you about a class that I had once, and I think it was one of the most effective classes that I've ever had. Not just this one specific assignment, but, generally speaking, it was really helpful for me as an artist. And the assignment for this day's class was we were supposed to draw a still life. Sure, fairly normal stuff. And she encouraged us to really try and push ourselves to do all of the detail work that we feel like was necessary, all the hard work that felt like was necessary, and really push ourselves to do all of the little things to push it beyond our normal comfortable rates, because people like to kind of hold back when they're doing art. They want to not, do all of what they need to. Like they get to a situation where it's like, I could screw this up if I keep going, but I feel like if I did such and such, it would look better. But but I don't want to screw it up, so I don't want to keep going with it. So she kept coming around and pushing us to go a little bit further, push a little bit harder, go, hey, you need to fix that. And when someone goes, I don't know, I might screw it up, she goes, no, do it anyway. And we went through the entire class period, and eventually at the end, she said, okay, here's your assignment. It's worth like some ludicrous amount of the grade. It was like, I want to say 20% or something like that. Some really extremely high amount. And she said, pass or fail this assignment, you have to destroy the work you just did. And if you do it, I'll give you an A. If you don't, I'll give you an F. And it's something that like we had spent, 2 or 3 hours on, like pretty much nonstop, just working. And we were really confident in it. It was one of the first classes that I took as far as art goes. And it stuck with me as a thing, because I feel like people do get into that situation where they get scared that they're going to screw it up, and they'd rather have the devil they know than the devil they don't, and they'd rather not screw up this beautiful piece of art they've made. And so you don't have to do it literally like this, but just having this sort of mindset where it's okay to screw up, it's okay to make mistakes, it's okay to destroy something that was beautiful at one point, purely just for the sake of making it better, because that's where improvement lies. It lies in that barrier that you don't want to cross because you're worried about screwing it up. And you will screw up paintings, you will screw up drawings, you will screw up a lot of art by doing this, like by pushing beyond the point where you are able to do just yet. But you should do it anyway. And the reason is because, like I said, that is where that level of improvement is. It's beyond that point. And so I encourage you, maybe not as hardcore as I do here. I obviously did this for the sake of shock value for YouTube. But take a piece of art that you work really hard on, maybe a couple hours on, and at the end of it, after spending like 2 hours on it, no matter how good it looks, destroy it. And there's a certain level of like, okay, I'm okay with messing up my work. And I feel like this is something that digital art has caused me to have problems with. I don't know if other people did it this way, but because I have Control Z, because I can edit undo, because I can have multiple layers, because I can duplicate layers, because I can do all of these things, I can go back to a point where it's safe again, where I know that it'll be okay. and not having to push myself beyond that point, not being able to screw up and just destroy a work, I feel like has stunted my digital art growth. I think the only real solution to that is just to not allow myself to use Control Z. I think that's my only real critique of digital art, and that's a personal problem and not like a problem other people necessarily have. And it's something you can push yourself beyond to do regardless. But I've rambled enough. Here's me violently destroying my work any second now. Hopefully you enjoy it. If I decided to stream this, I'll go ahead and have the Twitch chat like scroll by a little bit. But let's go ahead and thank the people on Patreon who made this happen. This is another weird month because this video is being recorded on Saturday the 29th of February, and tomorrow will be Sunday the 1st. I said that the weirdest way possible. There are going to be people who may not be continuing their Patreon thing at the $5 tier or may have just started. So some people will not be mentioned that should be mentioned. Some people who shouldn't be mentioned will be mentioned. I don't know. I'm going off of what I know at the time of recording. This is going to be an issue every now and then. It's just happened to be 2 months in a row where we had a Sunday be the first of the month. It's not going to keep being like that, right? Okay, good. Okay, cool. So we got time on the next month. But anyway, here are the people who pledged $5 or more during the month of February, starting with Wapfu. Thank you, Wapfu. Thank you, Top Houndor. Thank you, Theodore Corbiere. Thank you, Spiral. Thank you, Spencer Kane. Thank you, Punkster. Thank you, Flanixia Theoran. Thank you, Orthogonal Caster. Thank you again. Sorry, I had that issue last time. Thank you, Oboist Kirby. Thank you, Mortibus. Thank you, Micah. Thank you, Maliciousness. Thank you, Lost Nevada. Thank you, Kayla Hollinger. Thank you, Holgen. Thank you, Geizazan. Thank you, Duxu. Thank you, Chiptune Glitch. Thank you, Cappy Rose. Thank you, Bubba Fair. Thank you, Bep. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Amber. And thank you, Ants! That's so much fun. So much fun. Anyway, here's me violently destroying my work. I should probably leave it till after the Patreon thing, right? So that way it's not distracting. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and give me a sub. And, say what you think down in the comments about my weird antics. Or anything that you'd like me to cover in the future. And I will talk to you in the next one. All right. Bye. That should do good. And I just need to make sure I'm not hitting the post because that'll cause problems, right? And I should probably turn it a bit too. If I hit right here, then I should be able to rip through. Oh, I hit the post. Crap. There we go. And then this bit's definitely out now. There we go. There we go. But anyway, that's all for me for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this. And give it a try yourself sometime. Like, do a really pretty piece that you spend a whole lot of work on, a whole lot of time on, and then break it.